Welcome to the Royal Road School of Carmelite Prayer. At present, we are looking at an article entitled Love4Love, The Life and Works of St. Teresa of Jesus, as written by Edith Stein, and we are currently focusing on chapter 14, entitled The Prioress of the Incarnation Monastery. So this time of great expenditure of energy, when Teresa, along with being prioress at the Monastery of the Incarnation, was also in charge of the spiritual direction of her 8 reformed monasteries. But it was really for her also a time of great grace. At the time that she had a vision of herself as described as a spiritual marriage. It was on November the 18th, 1572. The Lord appeared to Teresa during Holy Communion. This is what she tells us. So the Lord offered me his right hand and spoke. See this nail? It is the sign of our union. From this day on, you are my bride. Up to now, you have not earned it, but now you will not only see me as your creator, as your king, as your God, but from now on, you will care for my honor as my true bride. My honor is yours. Your glory is mine. From that moment on, she found herself united blissfully with the Lord, a union that remained with her for the entire last decade of her life. Her own life, mortified, full of inexpressible joy of having found her true rest, and of the sense that Jesus Christ was living in her. She characterized, as the first result of this union, such a complete forgetfulness of self that it truly seems as if this soul had lost its own being. It no longer recognized itself. It no longer thinks about heaven for itself, about life, about honor. The only thing Teresa cared about was the honor of God. The second result is that there was an inner desire for suffering, a desire, however, that no longer disturbs her soul as earlier. She desires with such fervor that God's will be fulfilled in her, that everything that pleases the Divine Master seems good to her. If he wants her to suffer, she's happy. If he does not, his will be done. And she goes on to say this. She says, but the following surprised me the most. This soul, whose life had been martyrdom because of her strong desire to enjoy the vision of God, has now become so consumed by the wish to serve him, to glorify his name, and to be useful to other souls, that far from wishing to die, she would like to live for many years in the greatest suffering. In this soul, there is no more interior pain, no more interior dryness. There is only a sweet and constant joy. Should she, for a short time, be less attentive to the presence of God, he himself immediately awakens her. He works to bring her to complete perfection and imports his doctrine in a completely hidden way in the midst of such a deep peace that it reminds me, she says, of the building of Solomon's temple. Actually, the soul becomes the temple of God, where only God alone and the soul mutually delight in each other in the greatest quiet. Amen. So that is so beautiful. And we just completed chapter 14. And we will turn our attention to chapter 15 next, entitled Doing Battle for Her Life's Work. Amen.